Good morning, guys. Yeah, I was sent on this trip to South Korea to cover the Olympics, literally fun and games. But in the DMZ, there's no such thing as fun and games. The Lieutenant, Kevin Richardson, who led our tour, stopped it at one point and he said, "Are you guys scared yet?" We all laughed kind of nervously. He says, "You should be." A trip to the demilitarized zone begins at Camp Boniface, named after Army officer Arthur Boniface, killed nearby in a gruesome axe attack by North Koreans in 1976.
Prior to the Korean War,
we are briefed on the gruesome and unnerving history of this place, then begin our journey north down Old Highway 1. The DMZ is 241 kilometers long, just 4 kilometers wide, still wide enough to hide the 2 million landmines buried here. We reach the Freedom House, where no photography is permitted, exiting to the north and entering the JSA, or Joint Security Area. The South Korean military here stand half hidden behind these still neutral buildings, a precaution in case the North opens fire. This is the only portion of the DMZ in which the North and South Koreans stare face to face, reflected in the motto here, "We are truly in front of them all."
There's a yellow line in the road right here that we are not allowed to cross, and so we won't do that. We are being told that we are under direct surveillance by North Korea at all times. We've been told to stop photography. I've got to go.
We then cross that yellow line, entering the Military Armistice Commission, or MAC building. The North and South still hold talks in this rudimentary shack. This table right here is actually the demarcation line in between South Korea, that direction, which we can't point our cameras at, and North Korea. Where I'm standing right here on this floor tile, I am in North Korea right now. We continue down Highway 1, arriving at Command Post 3, often called the loneliest outpost in the world. An elevated position looking down upon the Bridge of No Return, where the North and South exchanged prisoners at the end of the Korean War.
Now going into the tree line here, you will notice another KPA guard post. At this point, you are under machine gun fire and very close observation by North Korea. Once again, there will be absolutely zero pointing, waving, or gesturing verbally or non-verbally towards North Korea.
Right now, we are under 360-degree surveillance by North Korea. We have machine guns pointed at us right now. Over there in the distance is Gijondong, better known as Propaganda Village. That flagpole you see is 160 meters tall, and they broadcast propaganda between 8 and 24 hours a day, trying to lure defectors into North Korea. But the village itself is mostly uninhabited. The windows and doors of those buildings are painted on.
We exit the way we came, past the bridge, still littered with landmines, and returning to Camp Boniface, a relative safe haven in a region ravaged by the horrors of war. Joe and Emma, that propaganda village that was blasting pro-DPRK messages and music, we could hear it up there from outpost number 3. And the lieutenant we talked to said that 8 o'clock every night, North Korea cranks the volume on those loudspeakers so loudly that 2.4 kilometers away at Camp Boniface, it sounds like there was a radio blasting against the closed doors of the barracks there. And the lieutenant, Mr. Richardson, said jokingly, perhaps, maybe he was serious about this, that they blast K-pop music back in their direction of North Korea just to mess with them. Yeah. We're sending those messages back their way.
K-pop music, honestly,
interesting
huge.
interplay there between two countries.
I cannot believe the experience that you had there, Paul. Like, the fact that you were standing even in North Korea. What was it like for you? What's the best way to describe it?
It's somber, it's serene. There are a lot of horrible things that have happened there, and some very recently. I mentioned earlier that there was a landmine attack against South Korean patrols as recently as 2015, in which both soldiers lost both of their legs there. It's very serious business, and the lieutenant there was on his 176th tour. He knows the drill, literally and figuratively. And I think you could sense the fear in all of us media. We had blue press armbands around. The South Koreans wear yellow armbands. The UN command wear yellow armbands, rather. The North Koreans are supposed to wear red armbands, especially if they're carrying weapons. We were told they don't wear the red armbands. So every day out there in the DMZ, they are in direct violation of the armistice there. It was a harrowing experience, but one I'll never forget.